The PlayStation VR is home to many creative VR titles. whatoplay presents the 15 upcoming PlayStation VR games of 2019 and beyond. Concrete Genie. Opening this list is none other than PlayStation's exclusive game. Originally a non-VR title, Concrete Genie revels in its vibrant color palette, letting you manipulate the world around you using PlayStation VR's Move controllers. Its entire world feels like a living canvas for you to enjoy. Liberate the gloomy land of Denska using your magical paintbrush and breathe life into every nook and cranny of the town. It's coming to the PlayStation 4 this October 8th, 2019. Deemo Reborn. One of the biggest VR announcements on this year's TGS was the return of Deemo. Once a 2D rhythm game by Rayark for iOS and the Android, is now transformed into a full 3D game exclusively for the PlayStation 4. Deemo Reborn is a hybrid of rhythm and exploration elements, alternate between its two modes of gameplay using the PlayStation VR. Gracefully master the number of tracks and slowly understand the relationship between Deemo and this little girl who mysteriously falls from the sky. Now retold with painstaking detail, relive Deemo's rhythmic tale of friendship and love once more. It comes out this 21st of November.
Friday, suit up, now!
Marvel's Iron Man VR. He may have left the MCU, but Tony Stark's legacy isn't over yet. Literally become the Iron Man in this immersive PlayStation VR game. And as the main hero of the Avengers, be the suit of armor around the world, and take it to the skies. With PlayStation VR's gear, don the legendary suit and face off against Iron Man's greatest foes. The game knows what you want, and if you wanna be Iron Man, Sony really delivered. The sheer amount of freedom you could have after you wear the suit is great.
You got the cross.
There we go. Keep your head nice and steady.
Oh, you can like tap it too.
And tap and make it pulse. Oh,
yeah, you could
nice,
do like kind of like rapid fire, or you can hold the move button and then charge up, and then if you can hear also like working with Marvel, making sure that you get that perfect sound of like the whine.
You could even visit Tony's iconic Malibu house, or hover around Los Angeles like a genius, billionaire, playboy, and philanthropist. It's coming in hot sometime this 2019.
3, 2, 1.
Hatsune Miku VR. Japan's favorite Vocaloid returns to the PlayStation 4, and this time you get to sing and dance along with her. This was previously exclusive to Steam and Oculus stores, but this time the PlayStation 4 gets to finally experience their own Hatsune Miku magic. And as of the moment, details are pretty scarce. But since it's coming as a PSVR title, it's gonna make use of the Move controllers, letting you interact around this virtual princess. Like most rhythm games, time the buttons right and dance side by side with this blue-haired girl. No word for additional content yet, but the game is slated for a release within this year.
When I awake, will I face the worst parts of myself? I need to listen to that quiet voice calling me.
Dreams VR. PlayStation 4's open-ended tool and creator game has limitless potential, and just recently, the game is out for early access for PlayStation 4 owners. One of Dream's most awaited feature is its virtual reality mode. Being able to explore around community-created worlds in VR is something everyone should experience. And however, the VR news is still behind closed doors. The devs are still unable to share any details yet, but it's definitely part of the game's roadmap. So for now, we'll enjoy Dream's early access without the VR, and maybe build our own creative worlds and share it to its wonderful community. No release date yet, but it's coming out sometime this 2019. Golem. Not to be confused with the other Golem games on the market. This one is completely different. Set in a storybook world, take the role of an adventurous kid who can create golems at will. With your innate powers, you can control your creations and let them fight for you. By doing so, your enemies are picking somebody their own size.
Known for just incredible, musical talent, composition. You have your reputation precedes.
But like most VR titles, details are pretty thin since the game is still in development, and VR is not really an easy field to play around. However, recently, the devs did announce that the game is scheduled for a fall 2019 release. Bionic Mayhem VR. Beat-em-ups are a thing of the past, but with a modern touch like VR, it gets pretty interesting. Although it doesn't take itself too seriously, this game is a brawler with a more mechanical approach. Using the PSVR's move controllers, simply jab and punch at your enemies' faces. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world and you're a robotic experiment gone wrong, so destruction and chaos are what you live for. But unfortunately, there's no release date yet, but it's scheduled to release in the last quarter of this year.
Welcome, Agent. From this point on, you are Espire 1 VR Operative.
Espire 1 VR Operative. Tripwire Interactive is also showing their VR project, and it's turning out like a video game from the future. Like Dishonored meets Warframe, enjoy a futuristic stealth experience where you control drone operators from the future. Unlike most VR games, players can freely move around its surroundings with few limitations, which means taking down your targets can have different methods. But be careful, its built-in voice control means the more you make noises in real life, the more they can hear you. The game looks promising so far, considering the devs are really working hard on its smart AI, making enemies less stupid than usual. It's already coming out next week for the PC, but as for the PlayStation 4, it's gonna come out this June 30, 2020. STUMPER. It's obvious rhythm games and VR do well together. STUMPER is among the many of these titles with the same concept, but with a different execution. Unlike Beat Saber where you use lightsabers, STUMPER gears you up with two holographic shields to block crystals flying through the air. But compared to most rhythm games, this one's super fast. Simply raise your shields and repel the incoming notes with precision. Its electrifying gameplay is oddly addictive, especially when you get the notes right. Its original version has over 800 songs, so there's a lot of music to choose from. You could also play with friends, challenging them via 1 vs 1 matchups. No release date yet, but it's coming out to the PlayStation VR soon. Throw anything. At this point, anyone with a passion for game development can make a VR game. Although this one is not as innovative as all the other titles on this list, it still has its own charm, especially for being another game under the zombie genre. The rules are simple. Instead of arming yourself to the teeth, simply fend off these hordes of the undead by throwing absolutely anything you can see around you. It's really straightforward, but the joy lies in its humor and a cartoonish style similar to Alchemy's Job Simulator. No release date yet. VR Ping Pong Pro. Yes, it's a ping pong game and it's a sequel to VR Ping Pong. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a ping pong game but with unique environmental backdrops to lure you in with its impressive visuals. From Japanese gardens to a massive stadium, the game has multiple levels to choose from, depending on your sporty mood. There isn't much to talk about, really, but for those eager to play ping pong in VR, this game is obviously made for you. No release date yet. Audica. Harmonix, the team behind the popular rock band, is testing out the VR world. Audica is another rhythm game, but instead of blocking musical notes with your shield or slicing them with your laser sword, you shoot them. Transform your move controllers into twin blasters. Dubbed as Rhythm Shooter, simply aim your crosshairs at any incoming notes from your screen, but do so with style. The game features numerous tracks from popular electronic artists, which makes Audica feel like a sci-fi trip. No release date yet. Paper Beast, a one-of-a-kind journey in an ecosystem blossoming out of a virtual world. Paper Beast is a playground of wonder, like a kid discovering origami for the first time. Encounter strange paper-filled creatures soaring or roaming around its mysterious land. It's a fully interactive experience, and you're free to do whatever you want in its playful universe. We only have one trailer so far, so there's no release date yet. Visage. There aren't many horror games that take advantage of virtual reality, and Visage is one of the few who actually took the opportunity. It's currently out on Steam's early access for quite some time now, and so far the reviews are looking good. It's a psychological horror game where you explore a haunted house that twists and play with your fears. Others call it a spiritual successor to the long-cancelled PT, and is the perfect remedy for that frustration. The developers are working hard for its imminent PlayStation VR version, so for now we have no release date yet. Starchild. Announced way back 2017, this VR title went under the radar for quite some time, and players believed it to be cancelled. But thankfully, this side-scrolling game is alive and still in development. From the company behind Lucky's Tale, this sci-fi adventure uses PlayStation VR to enhance the narrative and interactive experience of its side-scrolling elements. It already looks like an atmospheric cinematic journey, but that's all the details we got so far. No release date yet,